Hello? Okay. Good evening, and welcome to the William T. Wallace chapter of the National Honor Society induction ceremony. Please stand. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker for tonight, Mr. Andrew Haynes. Mr. Haynes attended Western Michigan University. He has taught for 28 years, and for 26 of those years, he has been at Hastings High School. He currently teaches U.S. Government and Criminology. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Haynes.
Good evening. This is always an interesting day as a teacher. A day after an election and a government teacher is pretty exhausting in my world, but nevertheless, I'm very happy to be here tonight. Yeah, this is my 26th year in Hastings. This is an outstanding high school, and you all are exceptional examples of the outstandingness of this place. The honor tonight is mine, but it is also yours. And so on behalf of myself and all of my colleagues and staff at Hastings High School, I say congratulations to you. We're here to celebrate you and your success. And now I got to figure out how I got chosen for this. So I'm going to tell you some things about me. I am not an honors teacher. I have never been an honors student. I never taught honors classes. I did, however, teach a lot of you. I coached a lot of you along the way. I've been here a long time. I have an expiration date. And so it got me thinking a lot about what it meant to be not only academic, but academic with long-term success. And so we're here because you all have excelled in the academic environment. You study hard, you do your homework, you take hard classes, you take risks, you take challenges, you search things out that many normally don't. You give a tremendous amount of your time. On the other hand, when I was in high school, I spent a lot of time figuring out how not to be in class and how maybe not to be in school. And it took me really until college to come to the academics end of things. They never came particularly easy for me. I can remember long, frustrating nights of just trying to master basic concepts. So yeah, it is interesting that I'm here. It's interesting that I'm a teacher, I guess, too. So I would have never considered myself a reader, but more of a watcher. I would have never considered myself a pencil paper test student, but more of a kid that put his hands in the mud to learn. I had extremely supportive parents, both of which were academic in their own rights. I had the support of phenomenal teachers in the high school I went to. And so when I got to college and I found academic success and kind of started to wrap my head around it, I would often think, you know, how did I get here and what's the end path? I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to stand and be a representative of this high school. I'm grateful to be a teacher. I take that serious. I'm grateful for every day I've been able to teach. And academics did play a part of it, but it didn't play all the parts of it. I think you all have the academic part nailed down. I think that you understand when you need to expand and when you need to modify, And I know you know that those are things that lead to success. But there's certainly way more to life than homework tests and books. I stand here before you today to tell you that you are off to a phenomenal start, but there is a lot more to success than just school. I stand here and ask you to remember this, but also to remember me. The people that aren't here, that don't necessarily always meet the standard, but somehow found success along the way too. I wish you the best. I absolutely do, as you navigate what now life brings to you. I know that you have a head start on so many people because you've mastered the academic end, and being here tonight is just proof of that. I know you know that learning is multi-dimensional all the way around the horn, and I know that you know the avenue to success. So I thank you for the opportunity to stand here on what is definitely my last semester in public education. And I look forward to bumping into you in the future and hearing about your success and how this place has helped you find it. Thank you, thank you. And congratulations again, both from me, this high school, and my great staff that I've been able to teach with for all these years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Haynes. Mrs. Heidi, Mrs. Warner, members of the faculty, parents, and students, welcome to the 2024 National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. We are gathered here to formally recognize those students who have been selected by the faculty of our school for successfully completing their candidacy and being inducted as new members of our NHS chapter. For current members and those former members who may be among us, we hope this will serve to remind you of the standards of excellence you too are charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition program. It is at this time that we proclaim to all in attendance that membership in the William T. Wallace chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by these candidates through the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve as standards for the society. Members of the chapter will now review these qualities for the candidates. First, we are going to have Lilia explain the significance of the candles you see before you.
The emblem of the National Honor Society contains a torch. The torch, which is the symbol of the eternal light of knowledge, represents specific purposes that we, as members of NHS, should strive to achieve. We should continue to move forward, searching for the light of truth. We should lead so that others may follow the light. We should keep the torch burning in our school for having a high ambition to endure the values of life, and we should serve. The central candle that is behind me is representative of that torch. The 4 other candles represent core values of the NHS, which are scholarship, leadership, service, and character. As your candle is lit, think about how you can apply those core values to your life and how you can light the way and properly represent the National Honor Society as a whole. Now we will have Andrea tell us about scholarship.
Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A real student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through opportunities inherent in scholarship. Character is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality, our goodness. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character that guides one through life, and, once developed, steadily grows within. Character is achieved, not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. By demonstrating respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, empathy, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. We will now have Lilia tell us about leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to teach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a meaningful and substantive charge to each of our members. We will now have Vicki tell us about service.
My office is service. Service can be established in the routine of the day's work where many opportunities arise to help others both at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or public recognition is the quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow. I will now ask Micah to step forward to introduce our new inductees.
Thank you. Current members, please light your candles. New inductees, as your name is called, please step forward to receive your token of membership and to light your candle. First off, Ashlyn Bailey. Kyla Brown. Charlotte Drake. Jody Gaskill. Lauren G. Riley Gertowski, who is at a volleyball game right now. Carter Krizik. Donald Cook. Kennedy Lewis. Maylin Miller. Carissa Rosenberger. Bailey Smith. Brooklyn Strickland. Colin Tosova. Zoe Watson. And Gracie Wilson. At this time, will the new inductees please raise your right hand and repeat the National Honor Society pledge after me. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. And I will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of presenting to you new and probationary members of the William T. Wallace chapter of the National Honor Society. Everyone may now extinguish his or her candle and be seated. NHS would not be possible without the combined efforts of the parents and the scholars. On that note, it is only fair to give them the recognition they deserve. On behalf of the NHS, we would first and foremost like to thank the scholars who devote their time to the classroom, the school, and most importantly, the community. If it weren't for the members who go above and beyond, the NHS would not be possible. It is especially important to thank the seniors who decide to commit to excellence at a young age and follow that path, from volunteering and putting in the extra hour of study. This is our way of giving back to the community and has guided us through our high school career and will continue to guide us on to the next level. This will be our last year before we leave and make our lasting imprint on another community. And there is no doubt that this last year will consist of hard work like the previous years. While the scholars make up the part of the NHS that we can see, it is important to thank those who work behind the curtains to make this organization possible. So thank you, parents, for supporting us through our years of high school, for getting us to our 6 a.m. meetings when we tell you the night before, for attending our events when it was not required, for pushing us to reach our potential, and for making sure we remember all of our commitments that we always seem to let slip from our minds. We can attribute a large part of our success to your helpful reminders and, most importantly, your unwavering support. The fact that so many of the parents show up exemplifies how strong your sport is. So again, we would like to thank you on behalf of the NHS and all of its members. Lastly, our NHS President, Melanie, has some closing remarks.
Thank you. I would like to thank our advisor, Mrs. Warner, and the members of the Induction Ceremony Committee for their hard work in organizing this year's induction ceremony. Please join me in thanking them with a round of applause. Thank you all for attending our NHS induction ceremony. In just a moment, the new inductees will recess, after which you are all invited to join us in the lobby for pictures. But before doing so, please join me once again in applauding all of our new Honor Society members. Thank you, and now will everyone please stand as our newest members of the National Honor Society recess.